Okay, I'm going to present my screen really quickly. Okay. In the fall, when students take the first diagnostic, as a teacher teaching math or reading, you want to see where your students are starting. And on the screen here, you're going to see diagnostic 1, and you can change that right here, the most recent. But I'm at diagnostic number 1. And so you can see, 47 students on level, 26 are 1 grade behind, 31 are 2 or more grade levels behind. And so this score that students receive, again, in my classroom, we have data binders, so they write their score down, but they also have the goal of the 609. So some students are going to start the year at or above that goal. Some students are going to start the year very far below. But either way, they record that score. And this is what begins their path, their individual path in iReady. So that's one reason I really like this program, is because it's tailored to that specific student's need. It's individual. And as for the instruction, let me show you the instruction report for reading. So this is diagnostic 1. I can choose over here what class I want to look at, because at first it's all your students. So if I choose my first class, you're going to see it looks like this. This is after the fall diagnostic. So I can start placing students in instructional groups for small group within my classroom. If you do rotations, if you do small groups, you can use this to guide you. Now, if you want to change it to diagnostic 2, which would be after the winter, students start moving. And so you want to change up your small groups. You don't want to leave students in the same group all year long, because the goal is to grow. And when students start growing and moving to a different group, you want to place them with different students within your classroom to promote that and to scaffold instruction. Okay, so this report right here is really good to look at as well. Okay, and then let's see, show you back here. The diagnostic, let me go back to that really quickly. Again, the diagnostic, this is really important as students progress through, because after the second diagnostic, you want to go back and have students, for example, in my classroom, they record the second diagnostic score. And so again, they're looking to see, have I grown? How much have I grown? In relation to the 609 goal, how far away am I? Am I past the goal? Again, all of that is recorded. And one report that I really like to look at is the growth report. So if you go to, it just says diagnostic growth, and I click on reading, you can actually choose students. For example, when you click on, it'll show you the recent progress. It'll show you, have they met their typical goal? Have they met their stretch goal? If you click on individual students, one thing I like is it actually shows the growth. So right here, this particular student went from a grade 3 to early 5. They grew 86 points. It's huge. And although that's awesome, as an educator, you want to know, well, what areas did they grow and what areas are they still struggling with? And if you just scroll down, it'll show you from diagnostic 1 to diagnostic 2, I can see where this student has tested out. I can see that this student grew in vocabulary from grade 4 to early 5, comprehension, 2nd grade to early 5, in literature, and then in informational text, grade 2 to grade 4. So if I'm staring at this particular student's data, one thing that pops in my mind is, okay, informational text, this student grew, but not as much. So this student needs additional practice using informational text, and I need to make sure that I'm providing that, okay, and I'm helping assist the students to comprehend that type of text. So again, This report is really, really good to look at for individual students. Again, you could even use this for instructional groupings as well with small group. If you want to choose a group that really needs work in vocabulary, you can narrow down what students need assistance in that area. And so again, this report is very, very good to look at. And this is all communicated again. Students know they've grown. We have constant communication about this. I have one-on-one discussions. I'll bring students up to my desk and we'll have discussions about this, and here's where you are and here's how much you grew, and looking forward, this is the goal. And so it's constant communication about their progress as well using this program.
Do you use only the 609 number, or do you set individual goals for students as well?
I leave the 609 as the main goal for all my classes. Now, if students, regardless of where they are, because I know that means proficiency, I know that means they're on target and they're not behind. Now, if students, for example, I teach fifth grade reading, so I have a few students who are already on 8th grade level. Some are on 6, some are on 7. They're above that 609 number. The goal is to continue moving forward. It's to continue to grow. It's, I wouldn't want a student who's at a 630 to be at a 600 on the next diagnostic. So we have that communication and we talk about, okay, here's where you are. You're actually above the goal, which is awesome. But here's where we need to, moving forward, we still want to grow, more than where you're at now. So that's, we have that conversation and they understand that, that that's still the goal. And even with students who are well below the 609 number, we still have, communication about the goal of 609. But also we celebrate progress.
Yeah.
After the diagnostic, if students grow, we celebrate that. We give them something, whether it's a little treat or whatever. We celebrate growth. So no matter, even if a student went from a 540 to a 560, they still grew. They're not at 609 yet, but we're going to celebrate the growth regardless to continue motivating them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that's what you needed.
Yeah, I think that was good.